I'm going to break down some of the things that I learned from observing shots like this layout from Rent-A-Girlfriend and using them and applying it to my own animations. Welcome to the Mind Palace. My name is Spywi. I'm an animator, director, voice actor, and we are currently creating our own indie animation series called Welcome to the Mind Palace. It's an anime slice of life, and it is based on my own personal life experiences, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. But a lot of people have looked at stuff that I've made and stated that it looks like anime. How did I make it look like anime? And that's because I'm following a lot of the different techniques, tools, and templates that anime studios use. So let's look at an example layout or keyframe from this anime. So this is from Rent-A-Girlfriend, and we've got a lot of stuff to look at here. We've got the animation template, we've got this box here, which represents the 1920 by 1080 camera output. You've got a bunch of things on here, but first of all, we're going to focus on one of the things that I get asked a lot, which is what type of pen or pencil or brush do you use to make stuff look like anime? So let's zoom in on this shot here. So you'll notice that this looks pretty much like pencil. I know some of these look like from the standard G pen in Clip Studio, but the actual drawings themselves, the pencil lines, even the red and green and blue lines here look like they are made with a pencil brush. Now, I am using a pencil brush that I got from the Clip Studio asset store, and you could replicate it the same way, but honestly, it doesn't have to be a pencil brush. It can be any solid line brush if you want it to. So let's say that we're not going to use this brush that I got from the asset store. Let's go to just the standard G pen. We're going to be using the standard G pen that comes with Clip Studio Paint. So if I were to just zoom in so we can focus on this. So this is what the standard G pen looks like. It's pretty basic. It's got a taper on both ends. It's got blurry edges. And if I zoom out, you can see that you can change the size, you can change the shape, pen pressure, etc. This doesn't necessarily look like an anime pen, but that's fine. So here is the secret. Regardless of what size canvas you're using, regardless of what type of brush you're using, the simplest answer is to just import an actual anime keyframe or a layout like this, put it on another layer, lower the opacity. I'm actually going to fill in the bottom with white just to make it easier to see. So I've got it lowered. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to take a look at these lines. Now, obviously, my brush is too big, so let's bring it down to, let's say, like 6. How does that look? So if I press down and add pen pressure, it's not too bad, actually. We're actually pretty close here with 6, and I'm not exactly using too much pressure near the end. Let's lower it down to 4 and see what this looks like. So let's try to match some of these. All right, so 4 might be a little bit too thin in some areas, but it doesn't really matter. I'm terrible at this because I'm at a weird angle. Let's turn up the stabilization just to make things a little fun. Let's try emulating some of the lines here. So we're going to take this. I'm using a 4 pixel brush here, and honestly, that doesn't look too bad. Let's see here. Let's try to match the strokes on this here. It's not too bad, not too bad. And keep in mind, we are only tracing in this case because I'm trying to learn how the pencil strokes go, how the brush strokes go. So in this case, at this canvas size, at this DPI and pixels, brush size and whatnot, this is pretty decent. Like, even if I turn off the stabilization, like, it's pretty decent. And so if I were to just, try to draw my own eye here, just off the top of my head, let's do this. Got the eyelids. Got to zoom in here to make things consistent looking. Let's change the color to red. Let's do that. Let's just add the outside of the eye, blue there. honestly, just on its own, it already is pretty good. Now, granted, I am sort of like bum rushing this and it doesn't really look that great, but honestly, that just comes with time and with skill. And so you can see like over here, I've got these really smooth lines because I have the pen stabilization pretty high, and I'm going to be using the pen brush that I normally use, but you can see here as I kind of draw the strokes, very similar like that. So to kind of summarize it, it's not necessarily because of a specific brush that I'm using. Like, honestly, I could do something like this without anti-aliasing in case I want to do like final line art. You can see that I'm still relatively matching the thickness of the pen brush here. Let's actually try a different pen here. Let's try the real G pen or the textured pen. Let's see. So like even that, the quote-unquote real G pen gives a pencil-like feel even at 5 pixels at this canvas DPI. So yeah, that's pretty much a good example of how I made my shots look like anime. And obviously you want other bits of set dressing too if you want to try to make a fake anime shot. So just import a keyframe template from Google, add some notation if you're feeling fancy, and then as I go further down, you can see that I clean up the line art by having it be these really crisp, thin lines for everything, and then eventually you go through post-posterization, which is basically this conversion to the pixeled lines. That way you can color everything in properly. Go into the coloring phase. You can see that I'm able to color in everything without gaps or transparent pixels because anti-aliasing is turned off. Again, these are all standard anime processes that I've learned by observing anime studios and anime studio videos. And you go to the final comp here, you can see that I've smoothed out the lines in the final composition. I've actually changed the line art color to be like a dark purple. I've added some shading and highlights along the top and bottom of the character, and of course some lighting effects here to just give it a bit more atmosphere. Now, this doesn't look good zoomed out, and obviously the colors are going to look different on your screen compared to mine, but doesn't necessarily matter because in the end, everything kind of gets zoomed into this 1920 by 1080 camera view of sorts, and then I add some extra softening and color correction in DaVinci Resolve afterwards, which you can check out the final video on the screen now if you want to watch it. And if you guys want to support these sort of breakdown, rambly videos, or you want to learn more about my process or stuff that I've done, check out some of the other tutorials on my channel. And of course, if you want to support the indie animation that I'm creating called Welcome to the Mind Palace, featuring characters like this, check out the link to our Patreon down below. It would really mean the world to me, and it helps me to pay my voice actors and my animators and be able to sort of keep the lights on this channel. So if you guys like this video, definitely leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.